There's a specific kind of quiet that settles in when you believe God has forgiven you, but not forgotten. You've said the prayers, you've confessed, you've asked for mercy, and maybe at one point you even felt it. But somewhere along the way, you stop believing you were meant for anything more than survival. You tell yourself,
I'm saved, I'm forgiven, but I'm not called, not anymore.
it's not that you think God hates you, it's that you assume he's moved on. You replay the decisions, the moments where you turned left when you should have gone right, the compromise, the silence when you should have spoken, the anger, the lust, the lying, the quitting. And now, years later, you look around and see people who seem further along. People whose stories sound cleaner, whose lives look more ordered, whose callings seem obvious. And you think,
I should be there by now.
you're not angry, you're just behind, sidelined, watching others step into purpose while you sit quietly in the chapel of your own regret. Convinced that God may love you, but won't use you? Not really. Not anymore. Because there's a difference, isn't there, between being forgiven and being trusted again? And you've made peace with the first, but you don't expect the second. Stay with me here. I want you to meet someone who felt exactly that way. His name was Moses. You probably know the beginning of his story. Raised in Pharaoh's palace, privileged, educated, positioned, but Moses saw the suffering of his people, the Israelites, and something inside him burned. One day, he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew slave. Moses looked around. No one was watching, and he killed him. Then he buried the body in the sand. The next day, Moses tried to break up a fight between two Hebrews. One of them turned to him and said,
Who made you a prince and a judge over us? Do you mean to kill me as you killed the Egyptian?
And Moses realized people knew. Scripture says this,
When Pharaoh heard of it, he sought to kill Moses. But Moses fled from Pharaoh and stayed in the land of Midian. Exodus chapter 2, verse 15.
Moses didn't just leave Egypt, he disappeared. He spent the next 40 years in the wilderness, tending sheep, living quietly, starting a family. He wasn't leading, he wasn't teaching, he wasn't visible. For 4 decades, Moses lived in the shadow of what he had done. And here's the part we don't talk about enough. Moses didn't just think he was disqualified. He believed it. When God finally appeared to him in the burning bush and said,
I'm sending you back to Egypt to deliver my people.
Moses didn't say, Yes, Lord. He said,
Who am I that I should go? What if they don't believe me? I'm not eloquent. I'm slow of speech. Please, send someone else.
Moses didn't feel delayed. He felt done. He didn't argue because he was proud. He argued because he was sure that whatever calling he once had, he forfeited it the day he buried that Egyptian in the sand. And yet, God didn't correct him. God didn't say, get over it. He didn't say, that was 40 years ago. Move on. He didn't minimize the failure or the shame or the silence. Instead, God said,
I will be with you.
You're fine. You were never disqualified.
I will be with you.
And this part matters. Moses' calling didn't come because he had moved past his failure. It came in spite of the fact that he hadn't. God didn't wait for Moses to feel ready. He didn't wait for Moses to rebuild confidence or reputation. He didn't wait for Moses to feel clean. He called him from the wilderness. He called him as a fugitive. He called him while he still remembered what he had done. And Moses, broken, slow of speech, full of doubt, became the one who led an entire nation out of slavery. Not because he earned it back, but because God never revoked it in the first place. Don't rush past this. You may believe your past disqualifies you, but Scripture tells a different story. God does not recruit the flawless. He does not build his kingdom with people who have spotless records. He works with the ones who failed and know it. Peter denied Jesus 3 times. He cursed, he swore he didn't know him. And after the resurrection, Jesus didn't replace him. He restored him quietly by a fire with the same question asked 3 times.
Do you love me?
And Peter, who had every reason to believe he was done, became a pillar of the early church. Isaiah saw the Lord and immediately said,
Woe is me, for I am lost, for I am a man of unclean lips.
And yet God touched his lips and asked,
Whom shall I send?
and Isaiah, still aware of his uncleanness, said,
Here I am, send me.
Here's the pattern. Failure does not erase calling. Shame is not the voice of God. And disqualification is almost always self-imposed, not divine. God does not move on from you because you stumbled. He does not reassign your purpose because you fell silent for a season. He calls the ones still sitting in the wilderness, convinced they missed their chance. So if you're sitting in that place right now, if you've been telling yourself that God forgives you but won't use you, hear this. You're not too late. You are not too far. You are not disqualified. God doesn't need you to feel ready. He doesn't need you to believe you're qualified. He just needs you willing. The door isn't closed. You've just been standing on the other side of it, assuming it was locked. Maybe it's time to try the handle. Not because you've earned it, not because you've fixed everything, but because the God who called Moses from the desert, Peter from the shore, and Isaiah from the temple still calls people like you. People who know what it's like to fail, people who've lived in the quiet, people who thought their story was over. It's not. Take a moment before this ends. Let this land quietly. Ask yourself, what if the thing you believe disqualified you never actually removed your calling? What if the silence you've been living in was not punishment but preparation? And what if God hasn't been waiting for you to feel qualified, but simply willing? Stay with that. You don't have to answer it tonight, and just let the question sit where shame used to live. May God bless you to be a man or woman after his own heart.
I have found in David the son of Jesse a man after my heart who will do all my will. Acts chapter 13, verse 22.